Welcome back to Cashegories. Today, we're tackling a burning issue, literally. Over the past 5 years, California has been ravaged by increasingly frequent and devastating wildfires. These infernos are not just a natural disaster, they are a financial catastrophe. Billions of dollars have gone up in smoke, impacting the government, businesses, and residents in ways you might not expect. And while many point to climate change, we're here to discuss the policies under Governor Gavin Newsom that have fanned the flames of this crisis. Stay with us as we unravel the real story behind California's wildfire epidemic and its massive economic fallout. Let's start with the numbers. Wildfires are incredibly expensive. In the last 5 years, the cost of fighting these fires has skyrocketed. In 2020 alone, California spent over $2 billion on wildfire suppression. But that's just the beginning. The true financial impact extends far beyond the initial firefighting efforts. The state government is hemorrhaging money on wildfire-related expenses. Apart from the direct costs of firefighting, there's the massive task of rebuilding public infrastructure. Roads, schools, power lines, entire communities need to be reconstructed after a major fire. This process is not only time-consuming but also drains public coffers, often requiring federal assistance to manage the overwhelming financial burden. Moreover, these financial strains force the state to divert funds from other crucial areas like education, healthcare, and social services. The result? A vicious cycle where other essential services suffer, leading to broader economic and social repercussions. Let's break down the broader financial impact of these wildfires on California's economy. Wildfires have a profound impact on property values in affected areas. Homes in fire-prone regions see a decrease in value, making it difficult for homeowners to sell or refinance. This depreciation also affects the local housing market, leading to reduced property tax revenues for the state and local governments. When property values drop, it directly impacts the wealth of residents, reducing their financial stability and increasing economic anxiety. The insurance industry is under immense pressure due to the increasing frequency and severity of wildfires. Insurance companies face massive payouts, leading to higher premiums and reduced coverage options for homeowners. This strain on the industry affects not only the insured but also the broader financial stability of the insurance sector. Some insurance companies have even pulled out of high-risk areas altogether, leaving residents with limited options and higher costs. The uncertainty in insurance markets also impacts real estate investments and new housing developments, slowing down economic growth in affected regions. Businesses are hit hard by wildfires, especially those in the tourism, agriculture, and wine industries. Imagine owning a vineyard that takes years to cultivate, only to see it destroyed in a matter of hours. The loss is not just financial but also emotional, as family businesses and legacies are wiped out overnight. Agribusinesses in California's Central Valley, one of the most productive agricultural regions in the world, face severe disruptions during wildfire season. Crop losses, evacuation of livestock, and destruction of infrastructure all contribute to a massive financial toll on farmers and the state's economy. Tourism, a major economic driver for California, has also seen a decline. Iconic destinations like Yosemite and Napa Valley have faced closures and reduced visitor numbers due to fire threats and smoky conditions. This decline in tourism revenue affects local economies, from hotels and restaurants to tour operators and retail businesses. The ripple effect extends to employees in these industries, many of whom lose their jobs or face reduced hours, further straining the local economy. The health impact of wildfire smoke cannot be ignored. Respiratory issues, heart problems, and other health complications surge during fire season, leading to increased medical costs and strain on healthcare facilities. Hospitals and clinics in affected areas often become overwhelmed with patients suffering from smoke inhalation and related conditions. This increased demand for healthcare services drives up costs for both providers and patients. Additionally, the long-term health impacts of sustained exposure to wildfire smoke can lead to chronic conditions, increasing healthcare costs over time and reducing the quality of life for affected individuals. The cost of firefighting is just the tip of the iceberg. Rebuilding public infrastructure, roads, bridges, schools, power lines, is an enormous expense. Federal aid is often required, but the burden on the state budget is immense. Funds are diverted from other essential services, exacerbating the fiscal strain. For example, resources that could be allocated to education, public health, and social services are instead funneled into emergency response and reconstruction efforts. This reallocation of funds can lead to underfunded public services, affecting the overall quality of life for residents. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: Governor Gavin Newsom's policies. While climate change is often cited as the main culprit, poor land management practices have played a significant role in exacerbating the wildfire crisis. Under Newsom's administration, several key issues have emerged. Controlled burns are a vital tool for reducing excess vegetation and preventing larger fires. Despite their proven effectiveness, the state has failed to meet its targets for controlled burns, leading to an accumulation of dry fuel. This is a significant oversight, as controlled burns can help maintain healthier forest ecosystems and reduce the intensity of wildfires. Controlled burns mimic natural fire cycles that historically cleared out underbrush and dead trees, creating a more balanced and fire-resilient ecosystem. The failure to implement these burns regularly has allowed forests to become overgrown and highly flammable. The state's bureaucracy has often slowed down the process of granting permits for land management activities. Regulatory hurdles and permitting delays have made it difficult to execute essential fire prevention measures in a timely manner. This inefficiency has dire consequences, as delays can mean the difference between manageable fires and uncontrollable infernos. The process of obtaining permits for controlled burns, tree removal, and other preventative measures is often bogged down by red tape and bureaucratic inefficiencies. Streamlining these processes is crucial to enable more proactive fire management. Budget cuts and misallocation of resources have hindered efforts to clear dead trees and maintain fire breaks. The state's focus has often been reactive rather than proactive, prioritizing firefighting over prevention. This short-sighted approach has led to more intense and destructive fires, further straining the state's financial resources. Proactive measures, such as maintaining fire breaks and clearing dead vegetation, are essential for reducing fire risk, but they often receive less funding and attention than immediate firefighting efforts. The economic impact of wildfires on local communities is profound. Small towns and rural areas, often heavily reliant on agriculture and tourism, face economic devastation when wildfires strike. The loss of businesses, homes, and public infrastructure can lead to long-term economic decline. In many cases, the recovery process is slow and challenging, with some communities struggling to rebuild and attract new investments. The displacement of residents and the loss of local amenities can also lead to population decline, further eroding the economic base of these communities. The environmental impact of wildfires extends beyond immediate destruction. The loss of vegetation and topsoil can lead to erosion and water quality issues. Burned areas are more susceptible to mudslides and flooding, particularly during heavy rains. The destruction of forests also reduces carbon sequestration, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and climate change. The loss of biodiversity, as plants and animals are killed or displaced by fires, further exacerbates environmental degradation. Let's dive deeper into the economic impacts. The ripple effects of wildfires extend far beyond the immediate destruction. Here are some critical areas affected. Wildfires have a profound impact on property values in affected areas. Homes in fire-prone regions see a decrease in value, making it difficult for homeowners to sell or refinance. This depreciation also affects the local housing market, leading to reduced property tax revenues for the state and local governments. When property values drop, it directly impacts the wealth of residents, reducing their financial stability and increasing economic anxiety. The loss of property value can also lead to higher insurance costs, further straining the finances of homeowners. Businesses destroyed by wildfires result in significant job losses. Employees are often left without work, leading to increased unemployment rates and economic displacement. The loss of income for these individuals has a cascading effect, reducing consumer spending and affecting the broader economy. The economic impact is particularly severe in small towns and rural areas, where alternative employment opportunities may be limited. The loss of jobs and income can lead to increased poverty and economic hardship for affected families. California's agricultural industry is one of the largest in the world, producing a significant portion of the nation's fruits, vegetables, nuts, and wine. Wildfires pose a severe threat to this industry, destroying crops, vineyards, and livestock. The loss of agricultural production not only affects farmers but also disrupts the supply chain, leading to higher prices for consumers and reduced export revenues. The long-term economic impact on the agricultural sector can be substantial, with some farmers struggling to recover and rebuild their operations. The financial strain on the state budget due to wildfire-related expenses has broader implications for public services. Education, healthcare, and social services often face budget cuts as funds are diverted to firefighting and reconstruction efforts. This reallocation of resources can lead to underfunded schools, reduced healthcare services, and weakened social safety nets. The impact on public services can be particularly severe in low-income communities, where residents rely heavily on these services for their well-being. The destruction of homes, businesses, and public infrastructure leads to a significant loss of tax revenue for local and state governments. Property tax revenues decline as property values drop, and sales tax revenues decrease as businesses close or see reduced sales. The loss of tax revenue can create a fiscal crisis for local governments, making it difficult to fund essential services and invest in community development. The long-term economic impact on tax revenues can be substantial, particularly in areas that face repeated wildfires. The situation may seem dire, but there are solutions. It's crucial for the state to adopt a more proactive approach to land management and wildfire prevention. Here are some key steps that can make a difference. The state must prioritize and increase the use of controlled burns to reduce excess vegetation and prevent larger fires. This requires a commitment to meeting targets and streamlining the permitting process to facilitate timely and effective controlled burns. Controlled burns are a proven method for reducing fire risk and maintaining healthy forest ecosystems. By regularly conducting controlled burns, the state can reduce the amount of dry fuel available for wildfires, making it easier to manage and control fires when they occur. Reducing bureaucratic hurdles and expediting the permitting process for land management activities is essential. By cutting through red tape, the state can ensure that fire prevention measures are implemented promptly and efficiently. Streamlining the permitting process for controlled burns, tree removal, and other preventative measures can help ensure that these activities are carried out in a timely manner, reducing the risk of catastrophic wildfires. The state needs to allocate resources more effectively, focusing on proactive prevention rather than just reactive firefighting. This includes funding for clearing dead trees, maintaining fire breaks, and supporting community-based fire prevention initiatives. Proactive measures, such as maintaining fire breaks and clearing dead vegetation, are essential for reducing fire risk and preventing larger fires. By allocating resources to these activities, the state can reduce the overall cost of wildfire suppression and improve community resilience. Investing in fire-resilient infrastructure can help reduce the economic impact of wildfires and improve community resilience. This includes building homes and public facilities with fire-resistant materials, creating defensible spaces around properties, and implementing fire-resistant landscaping practices. By investing in fire-resilient infrastructure, the state can reduce the risk of property damage and improve the ability of communities to withstand wildfires. Community-based fire prevention initiatives, such as fire-safe councils, can play a crucial role in reducing fire risk and improving community resilience. These initiatives often involve local residents, businesses, and organizations working together to implement fire prevention measures, such as clearing vegetation, creating defensible spaces, and educating residents about fire safety. By supporting these initiatives, the state can leverage local knowledge and resources to improve fire prevention and community resilience. Improving early detection and response systems can help reduce the size and impact of wildfires. This includes investing in advanced fire detection technologies, such as satellite imaging and remote sensing, as well as improving communication and coordination among firefighting agencies. By enhancing early detection and response systems, the state can quickly identify and respond to wildfires, reducing the risk of large, uncontrollable fires. Educating the public about fire prevention and safety is essential for reducing fire risk and improving community resilience. This includes raising awareness about the importance of creating defensible spaces, using fire-resistant materials, and following fire safety guidelines. Public education campaigns can help residents understand the risks and take proactive steps to protect their homes and communities from wildfires. At Cashegories, we believe in the power of informed action. If you live in California or any wildfire-prone area, stay informed, support local fire prevention initiatives, and advocate for better land management policies. Together, we can create a safer and more resilient future for all. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to Cashegories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What solutions do you think would help address California's wildfire crisis? Let's keep the conversation going and work towards meaningful change.